Could one single Marine take out 10 T-Rexes in a fight? The Marine is one of the world's highest trained military soldiers ever. Kitted out with some of the most advanced military technology in the world, maybe one lone soldier could do it. But on the other hand, we have one of the deadliest and largest predators in history. Oh, and there's 10 of them. Before I begin, let me know down in the comments who you think would win, and come back at the end of the episode to see if I changed your mind. Now, let's get right into it. Tyrannosaurus Rex. In this corner, weighing over 10 tons, the king of the lizards himself, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Living over 66 million years ago during the Cretaceous period, the T-Rex was one of the fiercest predators in history. But what really made the T-Rex so impressive was that he was massive for a predator. Today, the largest land predator is the polar bear. The T-Rex is more than 5 times that size and taller than a giraffe. Now, the T-Rex would hunt its prey with bone-crushing teeth, with a bite force ranging from 35,000 to 57,000 newtons. That gives this dinosaur the highest bite force ever held by a land animal. To put it in perspective, that force is enough for a T-Rex to put 2 medium-sized SUVs on a rope from its bottom jaw and lift them just by closing its mouth. Yeah, I know it's kind of a weird analogy, but it's a very strong jaw. But perhaps the craziest part of the T-Rex is its roar, or rather lack of a roar. See, Jurassic Park lied to us. Paleontologists hypothesized that the T-Rex wouldn't have the cartilage responsible for making that kind of roar. That's only for giant cats like lions or tigers. Instead, the T-Rex would most likely have a low rumbling. So low that the odds are humans would feel the sound in their chest before they even heard a thing. I found an article from Vox that put together what they think a T-Rex would actually sound like, and it's terrifying. Now, I have to address the elephant in the room. There are 10 T-Rexes fighting today. Can T-Rexes even hunt together as a pack? Were they solo predators like bears, or were they more like lions? Paleontologists have argued about this for many years, as there hasn't been anything definite to prove one way or the other. However, paleontologists did discover that the T-Rex's close relative, the Albertosaurus sarcophagus, did hunt and live together. Now, obviously, the Albertosaurus is not the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it was only discovered recently that the Albertosaurus did this. And it wasn't until the 1970s that paleontologists discovered that herbivores traveled in herds as well. You know, thus that line from Jurassic Park.
They do move in herds.
So although we don't have direct evidence that the T-Rex worked together, there's definitely some evidence that shows that they could. And you know what? That's good enough for me. The Marine. And in this corner, we have the Marine's own John Wick, a one-man army, a hoorah machine, the Marine. There's a reason why the Marine is the go-to commando in people's minds. Marines are trained from day one to be in top physical shape, extremely efficient, and to be a one-stop shop for anything that happens during a battle. And our Marine is gonna be at the top of their class. We aren't recruiting some newbie nobody to deal with 10 T-Rexes. That would most likely end up like this. But the real perks of being a Marine are actually the equipment. Our Marine is carrying various amounts of equipment, all for survivability and lethality, and it weighs a lot, weighing from 95 to 135 pounds. Now, if you're having trouble imagining that, just think of a Marine carrying a toilet. That's basically how heavy it is to walk around. This equipment ranges from hearing protection to first aid kits, rifle optics and magazines, and so much more. This allows our Marine to have night vision binoculars, see up to 800 meters away, patch up any injury, and maintain total situational awareness. Now, obviously, our Marines' biggest assets are their two weapons, the KA-BAR knife and the M27 infantry automatic rifle. Used since 1942, the KA-BAR knife is designed not just for combat, but for utility, including cutting through plants and environmental hazards. Many Marines have the blades, guards, and pommels sprayed in this non-reflective black spray to reduce reflected light. It is the ultimate sneaky weapon. The M27 is the Marines' do-it-all weapon, with the ability to shoot over 900 rounds per minute, to easily switch to a single-fire long-range rifle with the click of a button, and bullets that possibly are powerful enough to kill a T-Rex with a well-aimed shots. Now, if it was a closer encounter, well, the Marine will probably have to think a little bit more on their feet. Now, we have both competitors ready and set up, so let's put them to the test in the lightning round. First up, hunting tactics. To give you a good understanding of how efficient a T-Rex was when hunting, a 2010 analysis by the Scandinavian University Press suggested that the lack of small and juvenile dinosaur skeletons in fossil records is because the T-Rex would eat everything, including pulverizing and digesting their bones. And unfortunately for our Marine, they're the perfect size for this towering predator. Surprisingly, T-Rexes prefer to ambush their prey rather than pursue them. The T-Rex would most likely sneak up on its prey and use a hit and drag tactic. And if that didn't work, well, biomechanical studies have shown that the T-Rex would constantly pursue its prey, outpacing and eventually subduing them once they're tired. But what about in a herd of T-Rexes? You know, we need a better name than like a herd, maybe like a legion, a tyrant. Oh, what about like a summit? A summit of T-Rexes? Yeah, we can workshop it. Albertosauruses were theorized to use their juveniles to break up a giant herd, siphoning one from the crowd for the adults to consume. This makes you think that maybe the adults are the terrifying part. But Philip Currie, a renowned paleontologist, disagrees. He said, the big ones you could see from a long way away, but with the young ones, well, you wouldn't see anything until it was too late. That's kind of terrifying. The Marine would act very differently from the king of the Cretaceous period, mostly because its prey is wrapped up in a Whole Foods down the street. But the main reason is that humans have adapted to long-range fighting for a while now. The M27 our Marine carries can have a single-fire accurate shot at over 800 meters away. This means that it's possible for our Marine to completely wipe out a herd of animals without ever moving an inch. Both competitors are looking to find their prey quickly and deliver the final blow with their prey not even knowing what is happening. And this is where it gets kind of complicated. If the T-Rex knew what they were hunting, it'd most likely be too late for our Marine friend. But if the Marine can set up and position himself before anything even started, well, the T-Rexes wouldn't even know what would hit them. With a radius of over 800 meters, that's a massive area for the T-Rex to look through just to find one tiny Marine. With advanced technology, intelligence, and that insane range, hunting tactics is gonna go to the Marine. Winner, Marine. In this battle, it's who can spot the other first that will determine the winner. So this next round is all about vision. Jurassic Park has created some really bad myths for our lizard king over here. In reality, the T-Rex likely had really good vision. With eyes the size of a grapefruit, scientists suggest that a T-Rex could distinguish an object up to 5 times more precisely than a falcon, which means over 13 times better than a human. This also means that there's a high likelihood that T-Rexes would have a superior color vision too, being able to see things like ultraviolet light. Because of the immense height of the T-Rex and how wide apart their eyes were, it most likely gave excellent depth perception and ability to track its prey through anything. It also means that in a dense forest, odds are the only thing you would see would be its teeth chomping down on you. But unfortunately for the T-Rex, our Marine is cheating. Developed in the 1980s, Marines use Marpat, or marine pattern, that is meant to make the wearer less visible to the naked eye. It's also meant to give a lower infrared signature, and weirdly enough, it's designed for intimidation. I assume when they were developing the camouflage, the designers weren't really thinking of intimidating a T-Rex. But the Marine isn't done yet. With multiple laser targeting and illumination systems, as well as a night vision monocular device, the Marine is able to see hundreds of meters away, determining their target more easily. By also providing a floodlight on the M27, the Marine is able to adjust and adapt to their surroundings with ease. Sort of. See, with this fight, it's really dependent on preparation. But no matter the preparation for the Marine, once the T-Rex catches sight of him, it's pretty much game over. It would be extremely difficult for the T-Rex to lose track of the Marine, hunting and stalking them through dense forests and hills. But with all the gadgets the Marine has, they still have to rely on those devices to come close to matching the T-Rex's raw eyesight. And because of that, I'm gonna have to give the vision round to the T-Rex. Winner, Tyrannosaurus Rex. In this round, I'm answering the age-old question. Could you outrun a T-Rex? This round is all about agility. How fast a T-Rex is hotly debated. I've looked through multiple articles talking about how T-Rexes could have run up to 25 miles per hour, and other articles where paleontologists argue that the T-Rex couldn't even run at all. So let's look at the facts. T-Rexes have very long legs for their body size, especially below the knee. This could mean that the T-Rex was like an ostrich, very fast, very agile, quick maneuvers, and kind of terrifying. Or it could mean that the T-Rex is like a giraffe, slow, very specific with its movements, only agile when it needs to be, and also kind of terrifying. With the size and weight of the T-Rex, many paleontologists are leaning towards the latter. If the T-Rex were to run at all, it would most likely be a slow runner, possibly reaching up to 10 miles per hour, with a walking speed between 3 to 6 miles per hour. Suddenly, it's looking pretty good for our Marine. The average male can run around 6 miles per hour, which I'm gonna have our Marine friend run at because remember, they have very good physical endurance, but they also have a lot of gear on them. But once that gear is off and they are on their own, I think a solidly trained Marine could probably run up to 18 miles per hour in a short burst, allowing Mr. Hoorah here to outrun our lizard competitors. But here's the real test, endurance. T-Rexes are thought to stalk and tire out their prey until they can get that final bite. But guess what? Humans do the exact same thing. Look at all the Iron Man races, 100-mile races. Humans have an ability to just kind of keep going. And with the Marine in tip-top shape, I think the winner of this round is gonna have to go to the Marine. Winner, Marine. I know none of you are asking this question, but I'm going to. Which one of our competitors can take a hit, get back up, and keep going? Well, this round is all about survivability. I'm gonna say this right off the bat. A T-Rex would rip through the Marine like they were butter. One bite, no matter the armor, is enough to kill Jason Bourne here. So survivability seems like an easy win for our monstrous mutant here. What's interesting though is that the T-Rex is kind of in a similar boat. A T-Rex's skin is a hot debate. Feathers or not feathers, scales or not scales, and honestly, we may never know. But underneath Schrodinger's feathers, paleontologists guess that the T-Rex's skin would most likely be as thick as an elephant. With this in mind, a well-placed shot from our Marine could take out our T-Rex, but it'd have to be a really well-placed shot. Odds are, it would take at least a full magazine of the M27 to take out a T-Rex, and even then, it's probably not 100% guaranteed. Also, there's 10 T-Rexes, and so with that tiny margin and the numbers, I'm gonna have to give the winner to the T-Rex. But that tiny margin enough, and the also 9 other T-Rexes that are there, is enough for the T-Rex to be the winner of this round. Now, surprisingly, we have a tie between T-Rexes and our Marine from the lightning round, which means that our first fight is going to be truly devastating. It really depends on how intelligent the Marine is and how long they can survive. But there is a hidden trump card I have for our Marine friend, something we can see after the showdown. It's time for a fight. A true 10v1, a basic arena, no complications, no help, no environmental hazards, just one Marine versus 10 T-Rexes. Can the Marine do it? Is it possible?
Take this, get some!
Fatality.
Yeah, you know, in a straight fight, no hazards, just a regular arena, 10 T-Rexes are enough to easily overwhelm our super soldier here. It's clear, T-Rexes would win. But I think that's kind of an unfair fight. No Marine would agree to a fight like this, and if they were, I think they'd just have a death wish. No, instead of making a true 10v1 fight, we need to make it a realistic one. I've created 3 more rounds for our Marine and T-Rexes to fight in to see who the true winner is. Starting with number 1. The Marine is hunting the T-Rex, the T-Rexes are on defense. Both our competitors here are technically ambush hunters. So in the first scenario, I'm having the Marine ambush the T-Rexes. The Marine has been sent back in time to kill 10 T-Rexes. Let's see how that would shape out. John Hoorah Marine is setting up. He's been tracking these T-Rexes for days, staying hidden, quiet, and observing until he can find his moment, and it's right now. Our Marine has set up on top of a high hill around 800 meters away, while the T-Rexes are focused on eating a freshly caught Oviraptorosaur. The Marine has all the time in the world. He takes a deep, big breath, lines up his shot with his M27, looking to get a perfect takedown. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Fire. And he nails the shot. A T-Rex is down, and immediately the T-Rexes are scrambling. The Marine is looking to take down the smaller juvenile T-Rexes as quick as possible. It'll be easier to see and hear when an adult is coming for him, and the juvenile will have much less thick skin. He sees another shot, and another T-Rex is down. The man, the myth, the machine is on a tear. Another shot, another down T-Rex. But the T-Rex have scattered back into the forest, running towards the Marine. 6 T-Rexes are already down. It's just cleanup duty for our Marine champion. He rushes towards the site, gun switched to automatic, a new 200 round magazine locked in. He's looking to finish these T-Rexes as quickly as possible. After a while, the Marine catches his first T-Rex and lets loose a rainstorm of bullets, but this quickly alerts the other 3 T-Rexes. Running towards the sound, the Marine is quickly able to hide and look for any chance to get the final 3 behemoths. One runs by and boom! What was that? The Marine is fully equipped with grenades. An explosion that close could even take down a T-Rex. One of the T-Rexes runs towards his fallen friend to get immediately hit by another onslaught of bullets. It's 1v1 now. The Marine is looking, but look behind you. The T-Rex has snuck up on our Marine while he was busy with the other 2. He goes for the bite, but the Marine has a hidden trump card. He throws out his final grenade. Not an explosion, but a bright light. The T-Rex is flashbanged, roaring, causing a tremendous amount of fear in the Marine, but he's seen battle. He's witnessed horrors. He quickly reorients himself and with one final position, points his gun at the T-Rex's head. Bullet after bullet comes out to a dropped T-Rex. The Marine falls down, relieved both emotionally and of his urine, realizing how close he was to losing it all. The Marine wins here because he's smart, careful, and most of all, he's kinda lucky. A battle against 10 T-Rexes, no matter how planned it gets, kinda comes down to luck, and it was the Marine's ability to think on the fly that separates him from the T-Rex. And it's down to that wire that the Marine comes out on top. Winner, Marine. Now it's time for round 2, and this time, the T-Rex is hunting the Marine. In this scenario, the Marine has been sent back in time, but in an area where the T-Rexes are hungry and they've spotted him. There's no surprise, no sneak attack, no time for this Marine to prepare. It's kill or be killed. A lush forest, ferns taking over the eyesight of our competitor. It's hot, it's humid, and it's right in the belly of the beast. A Marine is trying to get accustomed to his new environment, and then he hears it, or rather, he feels it. The low roar of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Local animals nearby scatter. A loud stomping can be heard, and the Marine dives for the nearest cover. As soon as he dives in, a rush as a giant T-Rex takes up his entire view. It stomps in and stops. Something is very different in this spot, and he knows it. The Marine understands that if even one T-Rex finds him, it's over. He slowly pulls up his gun, aiming at the nearest T-Rex, who's looking over the bushes and trees to find what is different. The Marine puts his finger on the trigger, takes a deep breath, and feels that roar in his chest once again. He tries to look out behind him, but it's too late. Blackness and searing pain, and then nothing. The T-Rexes win here because in an environment where the Marine can't prepare, I don't think they could even beat one T-Rex. The T-Rex has survived and thrived here for millions of years, and humans are the exact type of animal a T-Rex would hunt. Would the T-Rex biting the Marine maybe get a lot of gunpowder and a grenade in its belly? Most likely, which would lead to a devastating hoorah from our Marine competitor as one T-Rex blows to smithereens. But there's also 9 more fully functioning, albeit confused, T-Rexes. And so our winner is the T-Rex. Now it's time for the final round. And this time, well, the Marine is going in fully prepared. In this scenario, I'm giving the Marine a fully loaded Rambo level of equipment. Marines are expected to carry and operate equipment on the field that they don't necessarily use. It's use less than require more. With that, we can look at 2 more weapons that a Marine could have out in the field, especially for a dangerous mission such as this: the M240 medium machine gun and the MK19 grenade launcher. These weapons are powerhouses once set up. The M240 machine gun has bigger bullets, allowing it to pierce the T-Rex with ease, and it can shoot up to 950 rounds per minute. 1 minute of aimbotting, and that's success. The MK19 grenade launcher has the capability of shooting 40 grenades per minute with a kill radius of 5 meters. If the Marine gets a direct hit on a T-Rex, it could tear through anything like it was butter. You know what? Here's a representation of the T-Rex if it was hit directly with a grenade. With that in mind, let's dive in. The Marine has finished setting up. Both the launcher and machine gun are ready to rip and tear. Folks, I never thought I'd feel bad for a 10-ton lizard king, but I'm scared for the carnage we're about to see. At nearly 400 meters away, the Marine has a clear shot of the T-Rexes walking through an open area in the forest. The first shot of the grenade is going, direct hit. It's, and another shot. The Marine is causing hellfire on these T-Rexes. I'm seeing a lot of carnage. This looks like something that could change war forever. The smoke clears and there's a bloody mirage of Tyrannosaurus Rex body parts. You can't possibly know how many are gone from these shots, but if I were to make a guess, it's at least 75% of them. The Marine knows that he only needs 1 more setup with this M240 and he'll finish everything in 1 go. But the T-Rexes aren't gonna let him have it. Bursting out from the bushes, the 3 giants storm towards the Marine, and now it's a battle of speed. Leaving the heavy MK19 behind, the Marine sprints to pick up his M240 and into the forest behind him. The T-Rexes are not far behind. They can see his every move, and there's no way they are letting them out of their sight. The T-Rexes are gaining on our Marine competitor. He just can't keep away with such heavy materials on him. With 2 T-Rexes running straight ahead, the Marine stops and, what's that? The flashbang is out! A bright light hits the T-Rex as they scream in terror. The Marine is shaken, but through the fear he feels, he's able to quickly set up the final goodbye for our dinosaur competitors. The M240 is ready to go. The M240 tears through the T-Rexes with ease, but it's only 2 of them. Where's the last predator? Wait. Oh no, behind. The Marine quickly tries to swivel around and smoke everywhere. Who is victorious? Who is the winner? It's the Marine! With a final save of a quick swivel, the final T-Rex is down for the count, and our Marine competitor has shown that technology once again triumphs over nature. With firepower this powerful, there's just no way the Marine loses if he's able to set up. So if there's no setup, it's game over. But once set up, well, the Marine has full control to completely dominate the environment. Winner, the Marine. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a stalemate. With the T-Rex at 2 wins and the Marine at 2 wins, honestly, I'm a little stuck. So I did the same thing that any Twitter user does when they can't understand a basic tweet. I added Grok and also asked ChatGPT and Gemini to see who they think would be the ultimate winner.
Final judgment. A single Marine is highly lethal, but against 10 apex predators the size of buses, the numbers are simply too stacked. With limited ammo and no resupply, the Marine would at best take down 3 to 5 T-Rexes before being overwhelmed. My educated guess, the 10 Tyrannosaurus Rexes would win.
The Tyrannosaurus rexes are a formidable, physically superior, and tactically intelligent foe, but their intelligence and tactics are limited by their primal nature. The marine, on the other hand, is a product of human ingenuity and tactical evolution. The marine's victory is not guaranteed, but it is achievable under very specific conditions. The critical variable for this win, however, is not the marine's physical conditioning, but their strict adherence to a strategic philosophy that dictates they must never fight a fair fight.
Depends how many followers the Marine had. If they had pledged their undying fealty to Elon Musk, then maybe they could survive.
Surprisingly, the AI seems as conflicted as I was when researching this video. One moment, you're certain the Marine would win. Gemini and Grok seem to agree. But the next moment, you realize that it's 10 apex predators that ruled the world for millions of years and think, there's no way T-Rexes can lose. And that's where ChatGPT is. So it's a big toss-up, but personally, I'm gonna have to go with the T-Rexes. The Marine really has to plan perfectly in order to beat a T-Rex by itself. And to do it against such overwhelming odds, it's just not looking good for our hometown hero. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe technology truly does trump biology. It's anyone's guess. Let me know what you think down below. Did I change your mind? And if you're like me and want more T-Rex action, check out our other versus episodes, including T-Rex versus Titanoboa, T-Rex versus Spinosaurus, and T-Rex versus 100 raptors. That concept seems strangely familiar. And don't forget to subscribe.